Dude, I don't have my notes up. Can you imagine
What?
that? Me? Don't have my notes up here? Man, gosh. All right, now are you ready?
It also looks like your Facebook stream on Drag Drive Repeat was deleted. So we'll
We'll
need
talk about the day.
to,
No,
it's going to
I've got
be,
it on. Got it on here.
uh,
Interesting.
it, it shows up at the top there with an error message. You see it?
What the heck? No, it doesn't show an error on mine. It just says go live over here. Hang on. Yeah, yeah. Bro,
Hey, technology, man. Technology.
yeah, right? How do we get by without it, you know?
Yeah. I told you last night I almost fought Chat GPT. So, just continue on with the troubles.
Right? Just fist fights, man. Let's bring it on. Well, guys, hey, welcome to episode 127 of the Drag Drive Repeat Show presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, we got to go in tonight. We got Skippy from Buckeye Skips Drag and Drive. We've got Laura Vanderhoof of Southeast Street and Yeet. So Skip's going to be talking about previous. His event happened last weekend. Laura's happens in 2 weeks. Dude, it's going to be a crazy show. We've got updates on Street Machine Drag Challenge and all kinds of stuff that's going on in the entire Drag and Drive community. So, Mr. Eric White, hit that intro and let's do this thing.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys, like I said a minute ago, welcome to episode 127 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, we're getting into it this time. I hope you're ready. This show is going to be a great one. I'm going to be fast with this. My name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of the show and the news, which happens on Saturday mornings. And I live and breathe and sleep everything Drag and Drive. So, my right hand man, Mr. Eric White over here, my co host, tell him what you got going on, dude.
I am the co-host of the show and the news, everything Drag Drive Repeat related, artwork, photos, you name it. Been uploading 6 summer photos finally after we had Derek on last week. It seemed fitting to start doing those. So as of today, I uploaded all of day 0. So those are all up and we'll be hitting day 1. Obviously, day 0 was the least amount of photos, so I knocked those out. But I've still got a lot of photos ahead of me to work on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome to see those come out. And again, we've talked about this the last few days here, but man, it's really awesome to kind of go back and actually have a little bit of time to, it's been a little bit of time since the event happened. So now you're kind of getting to relive some of those thoughts and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, and the bucket list mob, he's right. He is handsome. All right, well, let's get into this thing. Y'all, you know the deal. We can't do this without you guys. Like race car friends really make the world go round, and we appreciate you guys being in here and doing this with us. I can't say it enough, you guys. There's some really fun stuff that's coming up for all of our race car friends that are out there. So do me a favor, hit that share button as we get into this. And then for our sponsors, y'all, listen, if you're trying to do a little bit of shopping, we're coming up on some off season in air quotes. The while I'm in there time is coming here in the winter, where you park your car and you take something apart and you go, oh, while I'm in there, I might as well go ahead and insert race car upgrade here. And then, so we can't do that without these sponsors. So if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up, see if they got something that you need. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Look, if you're trying to do something, hit those guys up, see what they got going on, and see if they can do something for you. And Summit Racing's, Eric, I don't know if you know this or not, but dude, one man startup,
One man.
1968. Nearly 60 years ago. Pretty crazy to think about that now. World Speed Shop now, and 4 huge warehouses and 200 plus catalog editions. How cool would it be that that's your job, is to figure out what they want to put in the catalog?
I don't know if
We
that'd
need,
be
we
cool
need
or
to
not. That'd
talk.
be a lot of work.
We need to talk to somebody in that department. Tommy Dupree, if you're watching, hook us up, brother. Let us know. I want to talk to somebody in that department, how they figure that out. Um, Summit fuels your passion, saves you money, delivers fast, and offers top-notch customer service on more than 1,500 brands, and they're adding stuff all day. We're actually talking about a new brand they're loading today. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. You can also find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and on the On All Cylinders podcast, which is automotive discussions like this one. Guys, you can find everything on summitracing.com. Or if you look in our Facebook page or website, we have an affiliate link there that would help us out, as well as help out Summit, letting them know that we support them over here and all that kind of stuff. Well,
Tommy says done.
perfect, dude. I think that would be a fun conversation, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be. I don't know how any of that works, so that'd be interesting for
yeah,
sure.
just nerdy shit. I think it's just kind of cool to think about all the stuff that they do over there. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but Low Dollar Motorsports is now offered at Summit Racing. They were on today, or Brandon Dollar was on today with Justin Wiedemann, who's one of our good friends at Summit. Love that guy. Love when he does interviews. They had a great conversation, and I'll tell you, if you thought Brandon Dollar was smart, you're wrong. That dude's a genius. Like,
Yeah,
he was explaining stuff, and I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about, but I wanted to buy it. I was like, I need a laser thing that tells me how far my wheelie is. I don't even have a car that does a wheelie, but I needed that laser pointer that told the car, and it was a great conversation. You guys got to go listen to that. But did you know his company name came from some nickname that some dude called him all the time?
no, I
It's
didn't.
kind of interesting. It was like he kept calling him a low rent racer because he liked cheap stuff. It built stuff inexpensively, not cheap. Built stuff inexpensively, finds the right parts. Just not willing to, wasn't willing to spend all the money on all that stuff. And then it eventually went from low rent racer to low dollar racer, because obviously his last name's Dollar. Why would you not have thought of that first? I don't know, but we're glad he didn't, because low dollar motorsports may not have ever come up. So thought that was
Yeah.
pretty good conversation, man.
Do you have any low dollar sensors or anything on your old truck?
I'm not that fancy. There's no sensors on that thing at all, except for what tells the GM computer what to do to run, cam
I've
and
got a
crank, and some O2s.
I've got a couple sensors on. Well, I guess they're not on the Fox body. They're in a box for the Fox body, but
Yeah, but that car's going to run tens. Yeah, and then
well,
eights. Like, you need that stuff for tuning. Like the old truck, if it's doing a burnout, I don't need a drive shaft speed sensor, because I'm like, yeah, man, let's go. That's what I don't need to know that. I just need to know the back tires are spinning.
right. All right. And then next up, this is pretty cool here. Nicky Bobby Incorporated parts can now be purchased on Summit. So that's
Hmm.
a big deal. They've got the long travel suspension parts and the O ring header gaskets, LS lift plates, 4-link and leaf spring mounts, and plus a bunch of other products there. So
Hmm.
congratulations to Nicky Bobby Incorporated on getting parts there on Summit. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I'm excited for him. He's worked real hard to get there and builds these right here in Arkansas.
Yep. And then we talked a little bit about it on, was it Wednesday or Saturday? I can't remember. But
I think
Nick and
Saturday.
Nick and Alex got married this weekend, so they got a lot of good things going over there with the Taylor household. So congratulations to them on both of these achievements.
Yeah, I put it in a comment on one of his posts about it the other day. Man, just power couple, dude. This is going to be th- what's really cool is, like, we live now, I feel like, in what is the heyday of drag racing, because we have so much opportunity to look and see in other people's lives and things like that, that you didn't get that before. You only got information in a magazine. And so now, like, we're looking at this couple. I mean, they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
They're going to have an opportunity now to, I mean, really, like, we're going to watch them grow up, air quotes here, but it's going to be really cool to see where that couple goes in 10 years, 20 years, and how far they take this thing. Because, dude, they're a rocket ship, man, and yeah, it's going to be
Did
awesome.
Did you see any of the photos? Like
Oh, it was incredible.
they changed a cam and lifters during a song.
Yeah,
Like that
during
was
the
kind of
father
cool.
daughter dance, I thought that was
Yeah,
genius. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Neither of my girls are cool enough to want to do that, but if they do, hey, Dad's here. I'm ready.
yeah. It was pretty cool. It looked like a good time.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was it was a gorgeous wedding. Everybody was dressed to the nines. It's weird to see like hot rod friends we have that we only ever see in like
Party
ratty
t-shirts.
t-shirts and stuff. Yeah, all dressed up and in suits and all that stuff. This photo that you guys are looking at here on the live stream and on YouTube and stuff is from 1320 Video. They actually, uh, who knew they were great wedding photographers?
Right?
So it was pretty cool, man. Good job on them, and congratulations to Alex and Nick for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into this, man. Let's talk about some drag drive repeat updates. We got some fun stuff. I sent you this text earlier, but 183 days until the circuit 2026. Does that
I I
like?
don't even know why you looked that up, to be honest.
Well,
You don't need to
really, I
know
looked
that
it
yet.
up. Well, I looked it up because it was the 29th, and I'm like, man, we start on the 30th, so dude, it's got to be 6 months from now. And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
barf a little bit because dude, that comes up quick, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking today, PRI is 43 days away.
Oh, oh,
And I don't
that
even I
scares
don't
me,
even
man.
have our stickers for this
Oh,
year yet. Like, man,
yeah,
I feel like this year has really flown by, and it's been a jam-packed year, but
yeah.
no complaints with that, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how fast this year's gone for sure. And then class winners of next weekend's short circuit get a free entry into the circuit 2026. So that's kind of awesome because we have six classes, so it's six free entries. And I'm gonna go ahead and let them keep it, or they can gift it to someone else that's going to be attending the event.
That's
So I
cool.
figured that was a good way. I'm sure we'll end up with some that'll be raffled and all that kind of stuff. So we'll work through all that as we get close to registration on January 17th. I would hope, give free entry. If you're going to gift it, we need to know that info before January 17th. So that person doesn't then sign up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty exciting. I can't believe we're 6 months from the circuit 2026.
Yeah, that is definitely a wild thought for sure.
Yeah. And then of course next weekend we're like, 9 days, 8 days from the short circuit. So you can imagine what my day was spent on the route. I tried to kind of map around and see. And after I screenshotted this photo, I actually changed it three other times. So the route is kind of planned. I've got to go in and do all the, zero point 0.6 miles, zero point 0.8 miles, all that kind of stuff, and write it out and get those printed. But this is it's going to be a good one. I think the drive along 66 from the track to whatever this Bristow Public Schools basically is. It's Route 66 and Highway 48 in Oklahoma. I think it will be, I mean, that's going to be a great one because it's Route 66, right? But then I think the drive along that Highway 51, I think it's going to be awesome because it's kind of along some windy country road type stuff. We're going to cross over a couple bridges and then we're going to actually stop at the dam, which is going to be our final route stop. So I hope I have the route stops kind of spaced out enough. That really is one of the struggles we've talked about in the past of route stops being jumbled up, and then you drive a long ways, and you're like, "This sucks." So I want to break.
Yeah.
So being 100 miles, I guess it really wouldn't matter if they were close. But route stops for the short circuit are going to be Waffle House in Sapulpa, with the first $500 worth of food being covered by Driven Racing Oil and Drag Driver Pete right here, and then Route 66 Auto Museum in Sapulpa, which is like the Waffle House really isn't in Sapulpa. I don't know why it has that address, but it's about 8 miles down to the auto museum. So they open at 10 on Saturday. So I've sent them an emails like, hey, do you have like any decals? Do you have something simple that we can maybe buy a few of to kind of pass out during the thing? Now, the cool thing is we'll have a little bit of time on this Saturday. So if somebody wants to run in and do a tour, they'll definitely have time to do that on that Saturday if they're not going to be highly competitive in a class and need a lot of passes.
Have you
And then we're
been
going
to this museum before?
I haven't, dude. I've driven by it a few times, obviously, but I haven't been to it. So this will
Okay.
be really our first time to go this direction with any kind of the circuit events. I mean, I've been this direction just driving, but you know, by the Route 66 Auto Museum a few times, but not, you know, nothing to where I've had the time to stop in and spend 30 minutes or an hour wandering around. And then our final route stop, you guys can kind of see it's there between the 51 highway marker and the 412 highway marker, and that's the Keystone Dam. I think that King of the Open Road used this route stop as well, but it's huge parking lot. I feel like that's a good distance from the heart of Route 66 Auto Museum. That's probably about 60 miles, which I think will be about time for people to either, you know, put some more fuel in or stretch their legs or whatever. So, and then, you know, of course, we cruise back to the track, which is only about 20 miles from there. So, should be a good route. The roads, everybody has talked about being great up until 412, and 412 is good, but we're going right down through Tulsa. So good luck. The traffic is probably not going to suck. It's Saturday morning, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I figured this will take us probably 3 hours worth of driving. It's 103 miles. About 3 hours worth of driving is probably good enough in the car, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad for a
Yeah.
weekend deal.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was figuring too. All right, sir. That wraps up all of that fun stuff. Well, I guess for the Dragon Drive Awards, I need to tell everybody, hey, room 235, December 11th, 11 a.m. Please plan on being there. Please, please, please. PRI is going to be a crazy show for 2025. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's going to be dropping at PRI in our booth, as well as all over the whole thing. There is a ton of Dragon Drive stuff that's going to be going on at PRI because, you know, Dragon Drive is one of the biggest motorsports right now, one of the quickest growing for sure
Yeah.
that's out there.
Yep,
All
it's
right.
going to be pretty fun. I'm excited. Always love going to PRI.
Oh, yeah. Bring it on, man. All right. Well, send us into some driven stuff, sir.
All right. Driven racing oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. Trying something new here.
Do it.
Uh, I guess real quick, can you see this on the screen or no?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
cool. So it's
Cool. Wait, what? What is it?
it's a teleprompter, but I don't like it,
Oh,
so I'm gonna
sweet.
get rid of it. Driven racing oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip or enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing limits in top field drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. It's compatible with engines from classic hot rods all the way to cutting edge race machines. GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for those flat tappet camshafts, while also solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. It's crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, enhanced with state of the art additive packages. GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And you guys know the deal, drivenracingoil.com. Use code DDR10 for 10% off your order. You can pick up your oil. Their what was it? The wax that they have. They've
The
got
Pro
some
Wax.
cleaners. Yep, they've got all kinds of great products. Again, DDR10 for a 10% discount on that. And then Facebook and Instagram, they post all the time about what events they're headed to.
Mhm.
Check them out there and see if they're in an event near you.
Yep. And then before we move into some event stuff, I do want to answer this for Dustin Carlington. Yes, points updates were supposed to come out last week. I know I said that, but then I realized, dude, I never got the full results from Street Week Sweden. And anytime I try and get it from PDF to Excel, it will not do it for me. So I've asked for the Excel sheet for that, and I'm waiting on that. I'm probably going to just run it out because I don't think there's going to be anybody that's doubled up on Street Week Sweden and another event in the States that would then also be in competition for like a top 25 or something like that. So we'll see. I may, you know, retract that once I see those, but as of right now, I will go ahead and put those out tomorrow because they're all ready. I was literally going to do it, and I was like, "Where's Street Week Sweden? I don't have that yet." So I had just ran right by that one. So, anyways, just wanted to update that. All right, sir. Let's talk about some events.
Yeah, so
Lead us in.
streetcar bragging rights. This is the registration or the tickets go on sale this Saturday, November 1st. So just in a few more days. So if you are planning on heading to streetcar bragging rights, because we know a lot of our race car friends are in some of those classes there, November 1st, tickets go on sale.
Well, and that's drag and drive adjacent. It's kind of what we
Yeah.
call it the other day. July 19th through 21st, home quarter drag and drive for 2026, Saskatchewan International Raceway. We talked about this one last year. It's their first event. Single track, race 3 days at the same track in Canada. So another good one. I saw this in a comment. So I messaged the page, haven't heard back yet on official dates, but as of right now, July 19th through 21st is what I'm seeing.
Nice. And then Olympic Streetcar Shootout, they are planning an event for 2026. So that's good to hear. And they are hoping that they will have dates out very, very soon for their 2026 event.
Yeah, we're kind of in this weird limbo of the track staff is really tired and don't talk to me. But promoters are like in this, hey, I need to kind of get this on the planning phase. You know what I mean? So it's a real weird time for probably the next month and a half.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Street Machine Drag Challenge is running right now. Like I think they're actually racing right now. I don't think they run a live stream, but they're racing right now.
Oh yeah, this would be morning over there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Dang,
Yep. So
that's kind of cool. Would have never thought about that. We're doing a live stream and they're racing.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm excited. They do have Street Machine YouTube and Facebook channels. They do have updates, and we'll go through some of that here in just a minute.
Nice. And Road Trip Drag Challenge number 3 that is coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, November 7th through 9th. Lakeside, Warwick, and Willowbank are the 3 tracks for Road Trip Drag Challenge number 3.
Man, it's
then,
crazy. I can't imagine doing 3 events.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're getting close with the short circuit. So
Yeah.
if somebody puts it in your head, there'll probably be a third one next year. You'll have okay, here we go. You'll have a weekend event to start the year, the full event in the middle, and then a weekend to end the year.
I don't know if we're ready for a full event yet, but there have been conversations about more events. I will tell you that much. Have at it, man. Tell us.
All right. So also that same weekend is Road Trip Drag Challenge, November 7th and 8th, the short circuit. Again, this is going to be a fun, laid back kind of event for drag driver Pete here. 2 days of racing, 100 street miles. What are we at? Like 50 something registration so far?
Should be close to 56 cars registered.
Yeah. That's, I mean, for what are we, 2-3 weeks since we had posted about this? That's pretty exciting. I'm glad that turned out the way it did, because in the beginning we're kind of like, are we going to get enough cars to do this? And I know you had said if we didn't get 40, it wasn't going to happen, and we blew past that. So this will be exciting.
Yep, blew right by it. I'm excited about that. And then that Sunday is Import Face Off here at Tulsa, so that should be a great weekend for Tulsa Raceway Park.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're going to talk to Laura Vanderhoof here in a few minutes, but Southeast Street Meet is up after that, November 11th through 15th, Shadyside Dragway. This is, like I said, man, it's very hard not to cash in that ticket and go out there.
Yeah. But what a cool shirt there. Like that logo I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's freaking awesome. It's awesome.
And then the last event that we have on the calendar for this year is the Central Victorian Drag and Drive number 2. So again, their second event. This is November 13th through 15th at Charlton Airstrip in Victoria, Australia. So again, we've talked about it a bunch, but they don't have racetracks all over like we do. So they make do, and they're doing it at an airstrip, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, and that's 3 events in what is the span of a month.
Yeah.
Well, really, a lot less than that, because if Drag Challenge started today or yesterday, and Central Victorian's over the 15th, I mean, dude, that's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 events in 3 weeks, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, that gives us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Sorry.
with all of those, that's 53 events, 5 of which were postponed or canceled for this year. And do you think it's going to be higher or lower next year?
Yeah, way more.
What
One
was
more.
the number that Tommy, you and I had a deal on at PRI? What do you remember what those numbers were?
Somebody said 52.
Really?
Somebody said 52, and they were close.
That's awesome.
But I
And
think somebody said 42. So we'll go back and look at that. We'll have an update on Saturday.
yeah, yeah, it seemed like a lot back then, and now here we are, and it's kind of wild. So,
Yeah.
for the full list of all the events, you can find them at dragdriverepeat.com/event list dash 2025. And again, I think we have 16 ish events already on the calendar for
Mhm.
2026. So it's man, it's wild.
It's growing very fast. It's kind of a fun story, but I'm on a Slack group with Wes Buck and those guys at Drag Illustrated and so like anytime I have an opportunity to talk about Drag and Drive, I do. And so I've been putting together kind of the annual numbers and it blew their mind. And so, they're talking about, well, how many events is that? And I said, 53 scheduled, 5 moved to next year or canceled. And they're just like, we would have never figured it would have gotten to that, especially like dude, we talk about all the time. 2022, there were 11. In
Right, and that was
2015, there
that
were
was a
5.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a big jump from five. What was it? What year was five?
2019.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
5 to 11, it doubled then,
yeah,
and we're like, holy cow!
yeah. And then, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
4
now
times
we're
as many.
53.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, we appreciate Driven and all the stuff they do for us here at Drag Drive Repeat. Drag Driven Repeat is what we call it whenever we're hanging out with them. Let's talk about some J-Wire stuff because this is going to be a fun one here, and then we're going to bring Miss Laura in the next one here. So, Street Mach- or sorry, J-Wire Solutions. Jay Blanchard, love you, buddy. Expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, or your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer tons of products that make your driving experience better, like the blinker module, like this the heater block off. Heater bypass block off the wiring kits they offer, the plug and play for everything from you know Holly stuff to snowblowers. They can do it all. So hit up Jay at J Wire Solutions for all of your fun parts and pieces there. And then talked about Street Machine Drag Challenge just a few minutes ago. Of course, I wanted to go over the top 5. They're one day in, except for whatever they're racing this morning or right this morning over there right now for us. So first place currently is Keith Hards, 7.233. These are quarter mile times. Second place, Mark Drew, 7.430. And then in third place, Brandon Zito with a 7.547. So pretty awesome. Do you see the? Oh, it doesn't have it on this logo. Sorry. There's one of the logos. Maybe it's on the next one. No. Um, they've been doing this 10 years. I didn't know they started in 2015.
I did
So
not know that either. That's pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yep. So, or maybe they started in 2016. This will be their 10th running. I don't know. I'm going to do some research on that. What's really strange to me is like these guys don't put out just a ton of that. It's kind of like Hot Rod in the early days, but I can't find any of this old stat stuff from the early days of Drag Challenge. So, pretty awesome that they've been going that long. 10 years is a really long time. So, they are putting out daily videos on the Street Machine YouTube, Facebook, and website. You can see daily coverage, just like Hot Rod Magazine does. Like Street Machine is basically the hot rod of Australia.
Yeah, would be kind of interesting, like we've done for Drag Week, is go back to what some of those averages were back in 2015 compared to
Mhm.
today. I know we've done that for Drag Week. Be kind of interesting to do the same thing for
Yeah.
this event too.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. We'll do that on Saturday morning for the news.
That'd be sweet.
Yep. So that's your top 5. 251 racers registered. So for it not to have just a ton of content out there, going on 10 years makes it really, kind of uh, it's the go-to event, I think, in Australia currently. So 251 racers out there, man. Just want to say good luck to them. It started yesterday, so we're going to recap classes on Saturday morning's news show and kind of go into that last day of racing with everybody's times and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And then up next, I don't know whose car this is, but I thought it was super cool, man. I love all the different cars that are over there
That
for
is one of
Street
my
Machine Drag
my
Challenge.
favorite thing with these Australian and like Sweden events. Like seeing the
Mhm.
different cars is always cool because we get so used to seeing the same cars at events here in the U.S. and then you look at their
Fox bodies
photos.
and Chevy 2s?
Hey, stop it! Stop it! You don't see that many LS Fox bodies in drag drive. Okay, stop.
Yeah, okay. None. There's yeah, it's a rare breed.
But it is always cool to see the different style cars, and like this one here. What's really cool is you see a lot of 4-door stuff,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah,
think is
because
really neat.
I mean, those cars were built just to drive around. They weren't built to do what we all do with them. So pretty
Right.
fun there. And then this Drag Zines Horsepower Wars season 4 is back, but they're doing drag and drive with it. So Brian Wagner, if you guys don't know, he's a big drag and drive guy. He always is out at a drag and drive. He's building himself a drag and drive car at More Speed and Performance, John Moore's place. So it's going to be kind of awesome. They actually had, I guess, Horsepower Wars was the engine shootout between the LT and the Coyote. Coyote built by Fast Forward Race Engines, and then the LT built by late model engines for same turbo size, all that same fuel, all that kind of stuff that they can do to keep it same. The Coyote made 18 more horsepower than the LT did, so I thought that was kind of cool to know. And then the whole reason we're talking about this is their season opened to Sunday or something like that. So I watched that episode today. I don't know how I missed it, but our boy Eric Yost out here, because they're doing a drag and drive spin on it. So they're the same transmission, same, they'll be able to change the converter, gearing, and all that kind of stuff. But one truck is at Eric Yost's place, Customs by Biggin, and then the other truck is at Big Three Racing with
Nice. That's pretty
Chuck
cool.
Stefanski and those guys. So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. So it's a great, like, the first episode's very short, it's like 8 minutes, but it talks about kind of the builds of the truck. This is the one's at Eric's. And then this one here's the one that's at Chuck's place, or Big Three Racing, not just Chuck, but they have 3 people there. So I thought this was pretty cool. So now they're going to basically take and do 100-mile drive in the trucks, and then go to Dragway 42, which is where Chuck and those guys at Big Three Racing are home based, and they're going to make passes all day during an event, and then they're going to the 2 quickest passes create their average, and that's who's going to determine who wins.
I like that.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And what's interesting is they're using C10 trucks, which would be something you would put these in. Eric obviously doing the Coyote setup is interesting in a C10 truck. I think that's probably going to break the internet once that really gets out and about, because these trucks look like, hey, they're going to have LSs in them anyways. They both have turbo 400s. I don't know if they have locked in what rear gear they can use. I don't think so, but I mean, it'll be kind of a cool deal. And of course, putting the drag and drive spin on it from a magazine as big as Dragzine is going to help, just draw more people over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to check that out. It looks like
Yeah.
they drop them every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I've seen so far. So I'm kind of excited. They've got a whole series on the engines and the builds and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, I'm more of a truck guy, so this is kind of right up my alley.
Yeah. And both of those are good looking trucks too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that black one's got me though, man.
Yeah.
That's good looking. And it's both of them super clean and will make really nice trucks. The white truck has what looked like, and I don't know if this was just in the back, but it looked like it had like a full cage and stuff in the bed. But looking here, I don't know why you would cage the bed and not put a cage inside the truck. So it must just be a shot the way they shot it must be a different truck.
It no, I guess it doesn't. For a second, I thought it looked like there was a cage in it, but
Yeah.
it's just that white trim that I was seeing.
Yep. Tommy Dupree says both awesome trucks. They were at Summit a couple weeks ago, and that's part of their drag and drive challenge. Part of it is they leave, I would think, Big Three, drive to Summit Racing, because that's the title sponsor of the series, and then drive back and make the passes. So about 100-mile drive, which is, that's about what we consider a day's drive. That's your minimum.
Right.
Yeah. So pretty awesome setup,
Yeah.
and then super cool trophy.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how that works out. Again, thanks to Jay Wire, we appreciate him and all he does for us. And I told Laura to be on at 8:20, and we're way over that, so we got to stop talking and get to this, man. Lead us into the Molly segment, please, sir.
All right. Attention, racers and high performance enthusiasts. Are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to go check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Molly Motorsports Power Pack piston kits take out all of the guesswork. No more trying to determine if a piston will need this ring to work with a certain cylinder size. Molly Motorsports did all of that engineering for you so you can get to the part that matters, which is building a power plant that leads you to victory lane. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Yep, and for you guys that don't know who Laura is, she's awesome. To be honest with you, she's probably the coolest lady in Drag and Drive. Maybe next to Tanya Turk. Tanya Turk's pretty cool too. I don't know. All of our ladies in Drag and Drive are awesome. So, Miss Laura, please take a second, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, what you do, all that kind of cool stuff.
Hi, everybody. I am Laura. For those who don't know me, you probably know my husband, Devin Vanderhoof. He had the convertible Fox body that yeeted its roof off at Six Summer. Uh, but yeah, that's me. I co-own HCR Innovations with my husband, and we just do a lot of race car stuff.
Yeah, a lot of race car stuff, and you even host race car stuff.
We do, yeah. And it's we're only 2 weeks away, so it's been a busy couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see. Of course, we're talking about Southeast Street and Yeet. If you guys don't know, that it's one of my favorite events, and I've only been in 2023. I gotta do more. I got to come out there more often.
Well, this year is going to be pretty interesting. I think we got a lot of cool stuff going on. We made Day Zero mandatory this year, which we've never done in the past. And we're doing like a Day Zero kickoff party, and we actually have 2 parties this year. So we're excited to do all the things.
Yeah,
But
well, talk to us. What's that mean? Like it's
okay.
mandatory just to get there and tech early?
So what we're trying to do is normally we would allow a full day of tech on day one. The issue that we were running into is we'd have full staging lanes and people coming through tech, and
Mm,
then they would get to make one run. And we're trying to avoid that this year. So
mhm.
we're Day Zero, mandatory, get teched in, pick up your shirts, all that good stuff, and then you can test all day long. And then that evening, we're having our taco party. So we used to have it at a checkpoint, but we wanted to give people something cool at Day Zero. So we're gonna have like cornhole, the practice tree, all that good stuff. And the same people we had last year, his name is Luis Cervantes, and his family, they cater, but they make authentic tacos and they're
Mm.
delicious. So, and of course, we will have margaritas. So we also figured it's safer to do at Day Zero because people won't be, driving 100 miles after drinking their margaritas. So
That's a great idea. Yeah, I love the racer pre-party. That's we do that with the circuit, and it really changes the whole dynamic of the week. And you guys are gonna, man, I can't wait to hear the fun stories that come from that.
yeah, so this year we're doing things a little bit different because we are allowing tech on day one this year, but 2 hours of tech.
Yeah.
So from 8 to 10, we're teching, and then we're going to go right into racing. Normally, we don't have a set route, but this year, your day one route, I guess, to your first checkpoint to the second track is going to be a planned route that we would like you to follow. Otherwise, you're
Mhm.
going to sit in traffic on 85, and that's miserable for anybody involved. So we want to avoid that this go around. But we have some really cool checkpoints this year. We have a new track this year. So after day one, we're leaving Shady Side. Shady Side is our host track every year because
Mhm.
they're just phenomenal. They do such a good job. We love the buffs. They're great. They always prep a spectacular surface. So as long as they keep doing that for us, they've
Yeah.
been super supportive. So we're going to always go back there. But when we leave there, we're going to the Silos, which is a family owned business down in Easley. And they renovated these old grain silos. And they have like a brewery, they have an Indian restaurant, coffee, authentic Philadelphia cheesesteaks. So we're sending everybody down there to check that out. And then from there, they head to Greer Dragway, which is a local track. And we haven't used them before for this, but we've
Mhm.
attended so many events there. And the guys and girls at Greer are awesome. Alicia and her dad, Mike, they also put out a great service, and, they're very hospitable. So we're excited to go to them for the first time in Street and Eat history. So we're looking forward to
Yeah.
that.
And then
Go ahead.
I'm excited to see Greer on the list, because I think every year, like that's been the conversation every year. Is like, hey, can we go to Greer next year? Can we go to Greer next year? From what we've seen in the comments, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're excited to go to Greer. Greer is one of those tracks we go every Thursday during the summer and spring months for like the local list race and stuff. So we're excited to go, with our own event. But after Greer, we go on to CPR Performance, which is where we normally have the taco party. We obviously changed things up a bit this year, but Charles Potter, who owns CPR, he is a drag racer himself. He has an awesome shop there. They sell fuel parts. So
Mhm.
we love to keep them as one of our stops, just because it's, he's awesome, but it's also great for all of our participants because they have a place where they can grab fuel if they need it, pick up spare parts, sensors, anything like that. That's a good stop to have there. And they got really good parking. They got
Yeah,
really
it's
good
a
parking.
huge parking lot, and it's like, I mean, it's a legit speed shop, right? Like that's the one
It
we've gone
is.
to,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yep.
perfect for that. Yep.
It is. It is. And what's great about it is technically, because we don't have that route for that portion of it, we never do that. We like to do the whole fend for yourself type thing. So if you pick the wrong route, that's on you.
Mhm.
Um, but CPR, because of the tracks that we go to, because after CPR we go to Carolina, and on the way to Carolina and on the way back from Carolina, you can pass CPR twice. So you
Oh,
have the
wow.
potential, if there's anything you need, you can hop in there both times to get it. But we
That's
also
awesome.
have it. Yeah. So, and of course we go to the House of Hook, which everybody loves the House of Hook. You can't complain about that place. They always do a great job. And last year we let people run out the quarter if they wanted to. Um, I'm sure that'll be an option this time, as long as, you have the proper safety equipment in your car sort of.
Mhm.
Um, but after that, what I'm really excited for is Nate Prater with Momentum Racing. I saw him comment, I'm his hero, I guess. Um, he puts on streetcar bragging rights, which if you've never been, you have to go. It is a phenomenal event. Um, he's one of our checkpoints this year, and he was like, listen, let's make it a party. So we're doing a mandatory practice tree competition with prizes. He's going to have food trucks. There's a side road for trailer burnouts. So we're actually really excited to add that to the list. Yep. That's
Yeah, sorry. There we go.
yeah, my little parking maps.
Hey, listen, this is genius. This makes me step my game up on the circuit for sure.
Well, it's nice to have because, like, especially, and I know some of the people in the Street and Eat group were making fun of me about it. They're like, "Well, she's not my mom. I'm parking there." It's like Keith Rudisil, Scott Thompson. Um, the there
Yeah,
are
you mean
places.
you mean this one where it says "Do not park here"?
Yeah, they'll have you towed. Like, you don't interfere with their parking. So we try to, be respectful of the places that we're going. So
Yep.
it's I urge that 100%.
Yeah, we need people to not be respectful of the burnout road in front of them.
I'm excited for that because, a lot of times you go on drag and drives, and most of the places you drive through, you'll still see people standing on the side of the road. They're very supportive. Um, However, yes, Tracy, you're allowed to do burnouts at Nate's if you don't have a
Why
trailer.
would you not have a trailer?
Because wagon, he don't
Yeah,
need a trailer. He's got
yeah.
plenty of room. But, it's even still, there are some people who they don't like the loud cars. They don't like you making the noise. And so I try to be adamant that, just wherever we go, just be respectful. If you respect them, they'll respect you. So um, I think that having a specific spot to do the burnouts, we've never really had that before. Shut up, Devin. Um, he has designated parking on my parking map. I'm sure you've probably seen it on one of there. It says street and
Yeah.
eat trailer parking. Don't park here. Um, but yeah, it's we never really had a designated spot for trailer burnouts, and I don't want people doing them in the middle of a town and getting in trouble with the city. So I think it was awesome of Nate to offer up a perfect spot to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about a guy that you can't get any more drag and drive adjacent than streetcar bragging rights. I mean, they obviously have part of the event is a drive for some of the classes, but there's so many drag and drive guys that are in that event that, like, I mean, that's why it's on my list for 2026. Is like there's just so many race car friends that are there that I got to go.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Nate puts on a hell of an event. He really does. It's
Yeah,
an amazing time.
I can't wait. So we've got you've talked about Shady Side, Carolina, and Greer. What's the last track?
That's it. We're just having 3 tracks this year. Yep.
Gotcha. 4 days of racing, 3 tracks. Cool.
Correct.
I dig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So I do want to ask you a few questions that some people in the group, the Facebook group, asked. So Eric and I are going to kind of tag team this here. Eric, I'll let you go first with that first question there.
All right. First question from Jeremy Tapscott. Ask her if she's seen a black stone on the side of the road while mapping this year's route, asking for a friend.
Apparently, so many people looked for that black stone and they never found it. And I don't even know the whole story behind that. It was my understanding that somebody strapped it down and then maybe they changed the straps and it disappeared into the oblivion.
They didn't say ding ding ding. That's not going anywhere. That's why it's gone.
Yep.
We have I'm not going to repeat it because it's not, kid friendly, but we have a saying to test straps. So most people probably know what it is already.
Well, another one of the questions actually came from Devin himself. He says, why are you so mean to him?
Listen, if you had to work with Devin all day, you'd probably get frustrated too. But I love the guy, and I'm not as mean as he says I am. I think he's just exaggerating. And he's about to come for me.
Look, you took him to Ireland with you. I mean,
I did. He didn't love Ireland, but I don't. It was food. The food was the same everywhere we went. It was very odd. It was very odd.
Interesting.
Yeah. Beautiful country.
Next question, which isn't really a question, but Brett Marvel has requested the lasagna recipe.
So a little bit hesitant with that one because my mother-in-law, who is the most amazing woman, she gave me her pasta sauce recipe probably almost a decade and a half ago, but left out one ingredient and never told me. And I could not figure out, Devin couldn't figure out, he's like, it's missing something. It's really good, but it's missing something. The day we got married at our wedding, which our anniversary is actually in a couple days, she pulled me aside at our reception and told me, I'm not going to tell you, but told me what that missing ingredient was.
Nice. Marshmallows for everybody at home.
Recipe. Fine.
That's awesome.
It's not happening.
Well, BJ Hipskind, whatever, says, why the hell does she put up with us group of degenerates for a week? And the degenerates definitely absolutely appreciate it.
It is a really good question. I don't know why I do it, but honestly, everybody that comes to our event is awesome. They've always helped us make it a good time. They've always been kind and respectful, always willing to help. And that's one thing I love about the drag and drive community. So I think that's why we keep putting up with them every year. So, well, as long as they still want to do it and they still have a good time and they're still awesome, we'll keep doing it.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you're not expecting all these questions to be too serious here. So the next one, Kevin Dunn said, what is the most tacos eaten by one person on day 0?
I honestly don't know, but if I had to guess who it was probably Mark Manor.
Nice.
Yes, that's awesome.
I don't know if you ever pay attention on like Sick Week or anything like that, or our event, they will find every Mexican restaurant and that's where they will eat. So if I had to guess, I would say it was Mark Manor. And if not Mark Manor, then it was Devin.
Yeah.
So
hey, you got to feed the beast, that's for sure. Well, Boot Qualmso said, what's the proper way to cook a steak?
Well, first of all, S&P. It's the choice for me. So salt and pepper, some butter in a hot skillet, like super hot skillet, and sear it, count to like 20 and then flip it over and count to 20 again. Make sure you do the sides too. And that's how you cook a steak.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Count to 20. Like, I'm in. I'm going to try it.
Yeah. So Devin likes his steaks Pittsburgh rare. So like crispy outside and rare on the inside. So that's how I've basically gotten used to making them.
Wow. How long have you guys been together?
16 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Power couple for sure.
Adjustable hammer racing. I've never seen anyone drink a swimming pool sized margarita before meeting Mark Manor.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
All right, next question from Anthony Harville. Why won't she let us pit with her by the staging lanes of Shadyside?
It's so nice
I
to
have
do that.
to answer.
You can't do you that way you don't have to go up that hill.
Well, I know, but that's part of the fun. It's all part of the side is that hill. I purposely bought Devin a scooter that would go up that hill without
Wow.
of issue. But you can't park down there because we have too much stuff, and all it does is clutter up the staging lanes. That's why you can't park there, Anthony. I'm sorry.
That's awesome. JJ I don't know. FIGUR, whatever his last name is. He says, will there be cinnamon buns available?
Unfortunately, no. Those take several hours to make, and I can't make them for 400 people. So
Fair enough.
sorry.
Fair.
Richard Dennison asked if Devin will be on call for tuning adjustments.
I'm sure Devin would be more than willing to help. But that's a question for him.
Yeah, bring your own laptop. He
Yeah.
loves that when you walk up to him with a laptop and say, will you look at this?
Yeah,
Do
especially
not-
when he's in the middle of talking.
Yeah. And don't walk into his trailer and hook it up to his TV. Like you're out.
Perfect. I know what I'm bringing. All right. Well, this is something on everybody's mind, and they see it every time they follow Southeast Street Meet. But why is Jeremy Tapscott tagged in every post?
I don't really recall the original reason we started doing that, but I'm pretty sure it's because he claimed that he didn't see something that was important and or that he didn't get the tag. And we do the @everyone tag in the Facebook on purpose because you got the notification. I know you did. And we can look back and be like, no, we definitely tagged everyone, so on and so forth. It's an easier way to communicate, but I'm pretty sure he claimed he missed a tag once before. So we were just like, okay, we're just going to tag him.
I love it.
So now he can't say because he got tagged twice, technically.
Yes, that's exactly right. Well, tell us a little bit about Yeet Fleet, because that is kind of the fun thing if people don't want to race.
So Yeet Fleet is similar to like Sick Ward with Sick Week. You get all the same perks as if you were actually racing in the event, except you can't make a pass. So our Yeet Fleet rules are very lenient. Like if you want to drive around in your RV, by all means, you can. You just can't carry parts for another person. But usually our Yeet Fleet's very small. I would love for that to grow in the future, but I mean, we offer them all the same perks. So they still get their sweatshirt, they still get their t-shirt, they still get access to everywhere that all the racers get access to. They get to go to the parties and so on and so forth. So I would love to see it grow in the future, because if you can't race, or, even if you're the family of someone who's racing and you want to follow, a great option.
Well, and so we were talking to, I think it was Derek Putnam last week, right, Eric? And he said that Smokies had like 250 cars in the Sick Ward. So, you can really, we're probably close to the limit on what the racers and tracks can handle for what is a fun day at the track, right? But like the Yeet Fleet would be perfect for somebody that's they want the experience. Like that's where we need to send the people that just want the experience, like that graduated power tour people. They don't want to do power tour anymore. They want to do something cool. Now they do this.
Well, yeah, and I think it's also cool because you get to watch 4 days of racing, 5 days of racing, and you've already paid for it. You get a bunch of souvenirs with it. I mean, we got color changing margarita cups this year, so
dude,
one of
another
those.
reason I need to go.
But
Dang it.
we try to make it a good time, and I would love to see the Eat Fleet get bigger, as the years go on. I don't. Why is Devin talking?
We said, please, everyone, come get all your shirts and stuff on day 0 because I don't want to lug them around all week. That's fair.
Yeah, so with most, probably not like sick week and stuff like that, but we usually have a few people who don't show up. We don't order a ton of extra apparel for the event because every year we'll end up, especially the first year, we had like 5 boxes of t-shirts left over, and they just like,
I still have 2023 shirts.
Yeah, I think we might still have some from the first event. I think we tried to like give them away, and we still have some. So.
Yep, that's the way it goes. That's the way we live. I did see Jesse Hazlitt in here made a comment a minute ago that I thought was crazy because that dude's been all over the country doing these. He did this will be like 3 months or something for him, but he says he's never done street and eat. Will the parking maps be printed and included with the routes?
So a couple things with that. What I normally do is I'll have like a QR code. I'll have a couple printed out, but trying to lug boxes and boxes of papers everywhere, and printer ink isn't cheap. I'll print out a couple if people want them, along with like a copy of the E85 stops that will be available near where we'll be, which most people don't do, but we do. And our route is not designated except for the first 2 drives. So what we normally do is we have a QR code that will link you to all of those things. But I will have some paper copies available if you need them.
Cool. Just park where all the other cars are, except for in the red area of the don't park in the bingo parking lot or the Mexican restaurant, right?
Yes, do not unless you're eating at the Mexican restaurant. So Mark Manor can park there. But like they'll legit just tow your car. They give you like a 2. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Jacobs, he is doing a tool set giveaway at Street and Eat this year. We're still discussing the parameters of that, but we'll announce that once we nail down the details. So
how
cool.
Snap
all
on.
Right. So a couple more questions here. Will you take people day of the event?
We will. We're not going to turn people away, especially if we have the space. Now, if like 200 people show up, that might be kind of a difficult accommodation, but yeah, people can show up and still register if they want to.
That's awesome.
Jeremy, this is Street and Eat. If you can't figure out where you're supposed to be, you're probably just smart enough to be there.
We're very laid back. Like we don't have a ton of super strict rules. We don't. We're a very. Somebody else had mentioned in the comments that Street and Eat's a very different vibe, and it really is. We try to make it about the racer, about the participants, because without them we wouldn't have an event. So everything that we try to do is for their benefit, for their fun. There it is. Tracy said
it. And he's right. Like it really is one of the. It's definitely on the list. I love that it is the season ender, because like it really gives those folks that maybe broke at an event earlier in the year, or they're just finding out how cool Drag and Drive is. Now they have an opportunity to do it instead of having to wait. Because if you couldn't make sick week, now you're waiting until June to do another week-long event. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we also, I don't know if we'll do it in the future, but we also will let people, like we've had a couple people who said, they can't make it. What do I do about my spot? And, we'll let them offer it up to somebody if they want to. We're not, there's maybe like 8 people every year who do it. And that's not going to hurt me. Like it doesn't hurt me or everything that we get from this event, we put back into the event. So, the tacos, the color changing cups, everybody gets a sweatshirt this year with their registration.
Wow.
So, we're trying to make it as cool as possible, offer as much as possible, and just hope that over the years it grows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And what's the count? Like 200 plus car, 250-ish, something like that?
I think this year, so we actually cut off this year at 200, but I think we have a
Uh-huh.
total of like 206.
Yeah.
We a couple people who didn't even realize that we had opened up registration, who've been there every year. They're like, every year we didn't even know. So we went ahead and let them register.
That's
But,
really cool. Yeah, and then
which means
adjustable hammer.
you less than that show up. That usually what happens
yeah.
is people that just don't show. So
Yeah, that's not abnormal at all.
And then I guess kind of the last thing here to round it out, give us a couple of your favorite stories from the past few years of Street Meet.
Well, I was gonna say that the Blackstone is probably, even though I don't know the full story, it comes up every year. So like it constantly, like it, and not even just at Street Meet time, like throughout the year, someone will randomly ask if anybody's seen the Blackstone. So that one I think will just live on forever. And I hopefully if Jeremy gets another Blackstone, that they actually strap this one down appropriately this time.
That's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
You got to say it. You got to.
they're gonna have Devin come over and straps on.
There should be some like hidden at every route stop. There should be a thing where there's just a Blackstone sitting at a route stop somewhere.
Random one, like a random broken strap somewhere.
Right.
Favorite stories. I don't know. I've been thinking about them all day, and there's just I think one of the things, actually, one that's really good that always stands out is I believe it was Dustin Safford and his group. I think it was our first street meet. They broke, I think, on day one. They completely rebuilt a transmission in a hotel parking lot in the rain. And I believe he ended up winning that year.
That's awesome.
Pretty sure, if I remember correctly, but like, yeah, he went from holy crap, I'm gonna have to drive this all or take this thing all the way back to New Jersey and just call it quits to winning the event. Another good one is probably Sean Lewis, whose car we just finished wiring in the shop, his Chevy 2. He like ran it out the quarter at Shady Side. I think like at Shady Side quarter-mile track.
Mm-mm.
And he's just like yelling roll tide going down the track. But Tracy Holtzclaw had some killer wheelies on day one of Street and Eat. The very first year, we had a competitor who finished the event with no windshield. We've had a lot of interesting over the years for Street and Eat. But our very first Street and Eat, a hurricane rolled through.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to have good weather, and then the storm turned. And so we got like a half a day of racing in. And then at the very last minute, we were like, okay, we're just going to do a pizza party at Ledbetter Automotive. We did a practice tree competition. So everybody in that shop. And then the next day got rained out. Carolina, I think it was Carolina, tried very hard to get the track dry. And the water was just seeping back up through the track. So they couldn't do it. Devin made a last minute phone call and was able to get Union, I think it was Union Dragway. He was able to get one of the tracks on board like last minute. And so we went up there for some last minute racing and it worked out. So I'll never forget that. And it was one of the reasons why we've been hoping to maybe move the event sooner. Unfortunately, by the time we were like, oh, let's do that, it was too late. And so all the dates we were looking at were booked. So we're doing another November event and hoping, fingers crossed, that we get good weather this time.
Yeah, it should be fine. You'll be fine. We believe in it. And the one thing that's great about Drag and Drive is that, anybody can do it anywhere. This story, Eric, read us this story here.
Yeah. Chris Story had a shotgun pulled on him by a guy in his underwear while Sharon was doing a trailer burnout in the purple CTSV in front of a dude's house.
My God. I didn't. Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Had no idea that happened.
One thing people have to know if they're camping at Shady Side, it's dark. Like, you don't understand when I say dark. it's like, is my hand in front of my face dark? It's pretty awesome. But Shady Side's one of the coolest tracks I've ever been to.
Shady Side's great. We love it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love Shady.
That, and I think Carolina, the House of Hook was a great spot. Where else did we go in 23? I don't remember. It was all over the place, but big shout out to Ryan Hargett, which I think Eric was Street Need his last event, maybe because they pulled the car apart. No,
It might have been.
it was really close. If he didn't, he may have done Sick Week 24. But anyways, he raced two classes, which you guys are one of the only events
Yep.
that let you enter two.
Yeah, we will. Now that's as long as we don't have like our DYO classes are active, so it's hard to, we do have people double enter, which we're perfectly fine with, as long as it's not cutting into other people's ability to make their passes.
Yeah.
But usually, yeah, we let them do it as long as we're not like now. If we had a crowd like Sick Week does, that would be impossible,
Mhm.
able to do. But we don't, so we can let you do it.
Yeah.
I just saw Jeremy Tapscott commented about him and Chris Vickers. I do remember this. It was at Darlington.
Mhm.
Swapped an entire car over to Holly EFI overnight on a picnic table,
Yeah.
like the picnic table at Darlington Dragway.
Was Darlington the night that we got there and it rained or something? Was
It
that
did.
the 2-track day? Yeah.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, the 2-track day, you guys were nuts. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do that again. It's a lot.
I can't imagine from a promoter side, it has to be crazy to try and make that gap and figure out when to leave and all that stuff. But then also the workload of basically putting on two events same day. That's
We all, I mean, with that 2 in 1 day, last year we did Orangeburg, so South Carolina Motorplex, and then we went to Carolina after that. But the night before, it had rained very badly. And we had no idea up until maybe 10 o'clock that night when a competitor messaged us and said, "Hey, listen, there's road closures down here. You might want to let everybody know." So he messaged everybody in the WhatsApp group that, we were trying to find alternative routes to the track. I actually got yelled at because I did not go personally drive every single possible route to Motorplex. To make sure that the road was passable, but a lot of people tried multiple routes and like you just could not get to the track. Eventually somebody found a way. But that was a wild time. I still don't know. People were having to back up on these little tiny back roads with their trailer to try to get out, like to turn around. And knowing those roads that go to Motorplex, it's tight. Like I'm not sure how to get it. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the guys are saying 2-track day was a good time. What was really fun
maybe
about yeah, well,
I was saying maybe.
what was fun about 23 was Bryant Goldstone and Brian Robbins pulled in to track 1 at like 11 a.m. to swap the car
Yeah.
over completely. Made 2 passes maybe, and then had to change it all back over and then make the drive to Darlington. It was pretty crazy.
I think that was the same year they had, maybe it was Matt at Performance Fab. They had to swing by there. They had to do a bunch of stuff to the car. Something happened and it was like the middle of the night and they were stranded in a not great part of South Carolina. I was like, ugh. But I'm pretty sure it was Matt at Performance Fab that went and helped him out.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. And
Wow.
then he win. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's a bad dude, that's for sure. Well,
yeah.
I'm excited about it. I can't believe that. Yeah, I can't believe it's 2 weeks from now. Again, I've got an airline thing. I may just cash it in and come hang out with you guys. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if she'll let me. At this point, it's the end of the year. I'm big on a lot. But yeah, Southeast Street is one of my favorite events of the year. I've only been to one, but I definitely need to make, that's I mean, that needs to be an annual trip, especially because it's the last national event of the year. It's the last Dragon Drive World Championship Point Series event, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we need to make it need to make a trip.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. We will have the live stream going with Corey Stamper at Spooled Media. And Rye Klemp is going to be announcing for us this year.
Yep.
So should be good. We're hoping a bunch of people tune in, and we just hope everybody has a good time. That's the whole goal with this event, is just give everybody a good surface and a good time.
Yeah. Well, you guys definitely do that. Hey, look, we appreciate you coming on tonight. Appreciate Devin in here making comments, even if they weren't all great, it's fine. It's fine. We'll see him in a couple of weeks at another event, I'm sure. So, thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a huge part of, I know you do a lot of backside stuff for the HCR Innovations channel, the Devin Vanderhoof channel. I always hear you talking when you're recording and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you putting out all that content on that side too. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
it. Well, we will see you. I don't know. Maybe I'll see you in a couple of weeks. If not, I'll see you in a couple of months, I'm sure, somewhere.
Well, I don't know. We're going to, Josh's wife, myself, and our friend Yvonne are going to ride down for Sick Week this year. So,
oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dave, see, what about PRI? You guys coming to PRI?
I am not going to PRI. No. No.
Fine. Then if not Street Meet, Sick Week.
Yeah.
We'll see you. Awesome. All right, lady. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yep. You too.
All right, guys. And if you haven't done it yet, you need to be following Southeast Street Meet on all your favorite social media apps, but they typically post on Facebook. Probably the most often, I would say, there. And again, it needs to be a bucket list item for folks that haven't been there yet. You've got to get to that event. We got to get Eric down to that one time. Maybe you and I go 2026. Maybe that needs to be on the list for them.
I don't hate that idea for sure.
Yeah, right. We'll see. All right. Well, again, thanks to Laura for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. Thanks to Devin for letting her do that. I know he doesn't have any control over what she does in her life, but we appreciate all them and all they do for the drag and drive community. Again, thanks to Molly Motorsports for all the stuff they do for us, man. Not just supporters of the channel, but also drag and drive racers as well. George Wright taking on Hot Rod Drag Week, and Eric Grillo taking on Rocky Mountain Race Week and Hot Rod Drag Week in the Nova. So, all right, sir. And then you see over here, this right here, this I have an open passenger seat. That's not the kind of shit I need to hear, man. That's that would be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to Melissa tomorrow. All right, sir. Let's thank some race car friends.
Yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in so far. We're a little over halfway through the show tonight. So again, lots of comments. Appreciate everybody jumping in, making comments. Thank you guys. You guys are our race car friends. And of course, our sponsors. We can't do it without them. Please check out these companies if you're in the market for getting any parts. Again, we've got affiliate codes. We've got discount codes. If you have any questions about any of these companies on the screen, please reach out to us. We will get you in contact with the right person. So Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
Yeah, that list is big, but hopefully it's growing. We've got some folks that are conversating that want to come on board for the 2026 season. Yeah. All right, sir. Well, let's do some Deechworks stuff and then bring in Skippy from Buckeye Skips.
All right. Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes a variety of different components, including fuel injectors, fuel pumps, pump modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines, fittings, and surge tanks. All of these engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 horsepower. Again, DDR10 is the discount code for 10% off of anything on their website. So again, if you need any of those fuel components that I just listed, head over to deechworks.com and use code DDR10. And SEMA is going on soon, right?
Next week. Yep. That's why Mark Campbell of Deechworks couldn't be at the short circuit.
That is right. Yep. So they are going to be at SEMA. So if you are at SEMA, please go over and say hi to them, or PRI. They will also be there at PRI, which we will be stopping by and hanging out and chatting with them as well. But if you're at either one of those events, go by, check them out. Check out their new lineup of products. like the 550 and 620 in-tank brushed pumps that they're just rolling out.
Yeah, these are going to be freaking awesome, man. I mean, look at that lineup. So you've got 420, 430, 550, 620R. I don't know what R means, and then 810. Like that's a stepped program right there. And the great thing is, I would think those would probably just drop into place. So say you start with the 430, then you move to a 550 because you make more power. You go up in turbo or whatever, and then you go 620 and then 810. I mean, like, I know that's spending money. You know, but incrementally, if you use that for a year, you're still good to go. It's awesome.
Yeah, and plus you can always throw it in as a spare in your drag and drive trailer if you upgrade.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, well, let's bring on our next guest, Mr. Skippy, Mr. Carson Stone from Buckeye Skips. Man, it's great to be on here with you. You and I've had some conversations in the past. Obviously, talked on the phone a lot when you were kind of kicking off Buckeye Skips. Dude, this was an event that hit the ground running. You know, you got on the ball and got to work. It was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, we were nervous. Never been on a drag and drive, let alone doing one and getting talked into it. So it was like, okay, either go big or go home.
Yeah.
And we were pretty fortunate. You
Yeah.
ended up with a great group of people.
Well, and you went big. You didn't go home, that's for sure. But this, from what I think our early conversations was, this wasn't your first event to host, right? You've hosted a ton of events in the past.
Yeah, we've hosted different events. We used to do a event with the Renegade Racing Association, and so got a lot of good experience from them. Just great people.
Yeah.
And big thing is letting people know that you're there. That was our biggest deal.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys did a great job promoting the event and all that kind of stuff. Had a huge list of folks. I think one conversation we had was you had Big Three Racing involved right from the very beginning, getting them in, and you know those guys have been on a lot of events together and apart, and they've been all over the country doing it. So it's super cool.
Yeah, I think Rick was getting tired of hearing from me. I had more questions than I had time, than he had time probably.
Well, hey, that's all right.
That's all right. The same thing with you. It seemed like every week I was bending your ear. Okay, what do I do now?
Yeah. Well, and you know, that's one thing that's great about the drag and drive promoter community is we're not scared to help each other out as well. You know, racers help racers, and man, the promoters really are an open book when it comes to all that stuff.
Yeah, and believe me, it helps. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, tell us how this whole thing came about.
Well, for years I wanted to do a drag and drive, and we had a lot of things happen in our lives that didn't let us do that. And we were hanging out with a bunch of guys. Rick Russell, that has a Little Red Express, and his son, Big Ricky, we call him, with the, whatever it is, S10 Blazer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd mentioned something about doing a drag and drive. And they're like, oh, you're going to host it? I said, well, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do one. And I'm like, I don't know. So all night for 2.5 hours, every 5 minutes. So you're doing this, right? So, yes, Rick Russell with the Little Red Express, we did it. And it bit him in the butt. He was winning his class in the truck class on day 2 and didn't make day 3. So,
yeah, he'll have to be back for redemption.
Oh, he needs to be. Yes. Yeah, I pick on him every week. We actually have a shirt that says I attempted Buckeye Skips. So he's going to get one of those.
Eric, we need that. Put that down on the list.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
But, we were real fortunate for the first year. We had like 147 people sign up. We had 111 leave the gate.
That's awesome.
And we finished. My wife has something like 91. Made it to the final day.
Wow.
Yeah, we were real fortunate. Weather, couldn't ask for better weather. Vinny Barbone, he was one of them that didn't quite make the end.
Man, that car is so cool too. The list of names in your racer list is pretty deep in the drag and drive community. So I think your location is great. Obviously, your history with drag racing helps with a lot of that too. But like, you know, people came from all over, but really, like we got Vinny there, we got Jesse Hazlitt who did your event and then drove straight to Texas, I think, and did Wild West. Dustin Carlington, Tommy Dupree, we know that name very well. He's been to a bunch of that stuff. Dan Chandler. I mean, you're deep there. I think that will help you grow a ton as you move into hopefully a 2026 event.
Oh, well, we're definitely doing 2026. Actually, I've been on the phone today trying to get dates put in place.
That's
we
awesome.
want to do it the first week of July. That way, we'll end up at Coonley Motorsports Park, and they have a July 3rd race. So we'll finish on the 2nd if all works out, and people can stay and race the July 3rd race.
Yeah,
So
that's
great for them.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I think that you and I were talking a little bit about that before the show tonight. Man, that's a great time. The weather's still good for you guys up in that part of the country. It's not like just completely melt your face off
Right.
like it is here in Arkansas and Texas and stuff. And so it gives a good reason for people from here to go up there and enjoy that event.
Yeah, and especially like Jesse. I mean, he left one night and was racing the next. It seemed like.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is crazy. He's done a ton of events.
Yeah.
What tracks did you hit this year?
This year we hit Coonley Motorsports Park, and then they had to go to Dragway 42, and then they had to go over to Quaker City Motorsports Park, and then on the final day come back to Coonley Motorsports Park. And they had some pretty cool stops. Day one, they got to go to Mongoose Motorsports. Anybody that watches the Fast and Furious movies, they're the ones who had the silver Corvette that was stolen out of the train and crashed. And I mean, just amazing people. Trish over there, I think anybody who's on here that went there will tell you she put on a spread for them and showed them every inch of that place. I mean,
Wow.
Even one of her employees, Blaine, he was in the event, and his buddies are like, "Come on, we got to go. We're running out of time here." And he's giving tours.
Like, how cool!
Yeah, just great people. I mean, we couldn't ask for better people.
Wow,
and,
that's awesome. So, are those tracks that you work with quite a bit? Are those tracks you've hosted at before?
We've hosted at two out of the three. We hosted at Coonley, which used to be Thompson, and then Quaker City. We had not hosted at Dragway 42. That's the new Durana Dragway 42, actually. And but when I called Sam down there and said, "Hey, we'd like to come back," he was excited. He said, "Yes, definitely."
That's
we
cool.
will be there next year. Coonley will be there. The third one will probably be National Trails, another Durana track. They were really excited to have us, and we're proud to be there. I mean, it's been great.
Yeah, and 2 IHRA tracks, man. Be careful. We'll end up with the IHRA drag and drive class.
Well, you never know.
Bring it on, right?
Yeah, well, and I actually, myself and one of the gentlemen that's helped tremendously, Jim Micasino, we're both IHRA tech inspectors, and we both do chassis certs.
That's awesome.
IHRA, yeah, and just great people. I mean, you couldn't ask for better people.
Yeah, I like that he's definitely bringing more opportunities for racers to race,
Yes, yeah, they opened their door for us, and it's big. I mean,
yeah.
But a lot of good sponsors. I mean, we've been real fortunate with that, like Big Three and Summit. I mean, Tom Dupree messaged me right away. "Hey, we'd like to help you out." And it's like, seriously? Okay, Summit. All right.
Please, yes.
Yes. Oh, excited. Actually, you can see our little Summit logo in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, just appreciate everybody that's helped. I mean, it took a lot of people.
People don't understand how big the village has to be to put on these kind of events.
Yeah. We were sitting down going over. You were showing maps earlier, and in Ohio we have this thing. It's called cone season. Everywhere you go, it's got a cone or a barrel. So you can put the map out there on MapQuest, and it looks good, but then you got to go drive it because, oh, look, they started construction. So, yeah, we probably put 10,000 miles on our vehicle this year, just making sure the routes were good.
That is one of the hardest parts, right? Yeah, and so
Oh yeah.
we're hosting an event next weekend, and I'm trying to figure out. My wife has a friend and her that are going to Tulsa on Sunday. I'm like, I may just ride over 'em while you guys visit and shop. I'll just hit this drive real quick and make sure it's okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's amazing. In a day they'll change or they'll chip and seal the roads. That's a big thing. Tar and gravel up
Mm.
here, and it's like, yeah, that's just what these guys want to do. Go down
Drive
across.
on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, been there a bunch. Yeah, Dustin Carlington here saying Doug's 57 Diner.
Oh
That's
yes.
pretty good.
Yes. Yeah. A couple of the diners like Chloe's down in Massillon, Ohio, and Doug's are hot rod diners.
Oh,
And
cool.
oh yeah, just some real neat memorabilia in there. Great food. I mean, we obviously had to try out both of them, at least once or twice.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We need to do some more diner stuff down here. We have Waffle House, which is it's kind of where our race car friend, the shirt that I'm wearing, idea came from was the cars hanging out. Oh, and Eric too. The just hanging out at Waffle House, and I think diners. We don't get many diners here in the South, so we definitely got to incorporate some of that in.
Well, I'll make you a deal. You send some Waffle Houses, and we'll send you some diners.
I'm ready.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm ready. Bring it on.
What's a few things you learned from doing this event?
Make sure everybody has fun. Make it for the racers. Um, everybody's like, "Oh, you're getting rich on this." Well, no, our deal was if we didn't have to put anything on a credit card this year, we were happy. So
Yeah.
we tried to, do whatever we could to help the racers. I mean, anything from bottled water to we had hot dogs and popcorn, and just we wanted them to have fun.
Oh, popcorn. I had not thought about popcorn. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, popcorn machine, and we actually had a hot dog machine, and it worked out really well, really well. But letting them have fun, let them race, and then when they're done racing, they can stay. We did it to where the competitors had to drive their cars to each track, but if they had a buddy or somebody to drive their rig to the next track without following them, they could have a place to stay.
Yep.
And really helped out. I mean, a lot of people, got to hang out and camp together. And the one couple just went out and bought steaks, and it's like, it'd been great if they'd let us know.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I like
hoping
mine medium.
Yeah, I like mine rare. Knock off the thorns and put it on the plate.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, camping really has become, which is what we wanted. We wanted to see more people camp, and that kind of become its whole thing because that way you're at the track already. You're prepared for the next morning, all that kind of stuff, and it really creates a very fun atmosphere for everybody.
It does, and if you have an issue and everybody's camping there, hey, I needed a lug nut. Okay, well, 40 guys have got lug nuts for you.
Yep.
Something simple.
That's awesome. Dan Chandler makes a great comment here. I didn't know that you guys raced in the afternoon and evening. That, man, to me, it makes a ton of sense. I love it.
Yeah, we thought, we like the idea in the evening. It's cooler, especially in summertime here, and gives you time to do stuff. We set it up to where there's at least 6 hours between tracks. Between leaving one track and getting to the next, so you could spend time with the at the stops and enjoy what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out really well.
Well, and Eric's heard me say this 100 times, but I love the night racing of Rocky Mountain Race Week because one, like from a driver's perspective, you're driving to the track. It's adrenaline and motivation to get to the track. I feel like that helps that. But then at the same time, when you get done racing and you've spent all of that adrenaline and energy and all the stuff doing that, getting there, then you can either get in your tent and go to sleep. You can drive 10 miles to your hotel or whatever. You're not trying to then go 300 miles or 250 miles on a drive.
Right. And you're not breaking down in the middle of nowhere at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Yep. Which is a struggle for an event that, if somebody needs to run until 4:00 in the afternoon and they've got 250 miles, that could be a problem. You can really be at night. We really try and ride that line for the circuit because we have so many nighttime activities, like we do racer parties and all that kind of stuff. So you end up like needing to end the racing at like 4:00 and then end up driving 6 hours back to the track.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets kind of tough. So it makes for long days, but yeah, that's the afternoon and night racing, I think, is really a great idea.
Plus, it lets the guy that's at work that wants to see it, he gets
Mhm.
out of work, he has time to come up and watch the racing, check things out. So, seems
Yep.
to help.
Right. Well, before we move on, run through some of the route stops that you guys had.
We had, like I said, we had Mongoose Sports. Then we went over another diner in Hudson, Ohio called Johnny's. Then we sent them up to Twinsburg to O'Reilly's Warehouse.
Oh,
And
cool.
this is all day one. Everybody loved, getting to do burnouts up there. Then they headed down to Montrose Ford in Montrose. Then they went to 42. So next day we sent them to Massillon to Chloe's Diner. Then sent them back to the other side up in Hartville to oh geez, he's gonna kick my butt. Joe's Custom Rod Shop.
Oh,
And
sweet.
then we went halfway across Ohio to Alliance to Doug's 57 Diner. Then after that, they got to go to Crown Custom. My wife is correcting me. Crown Custom.
What would we do without them?
Somebody's got to keep us straight.
Yep.
But then they went over to Kufleitner's Museum, and just an amazing amount of cars there, and just anything you could imagine. But then they had to go to Quaker City. So next day they got up and went to Church Boys Racing.
Mm-hmm.
We got to calm them down a little bit. They started out with some nice trailer burnouts and different burnouts around the place, and then they got carried away and went out on the street. And then the police showed up, and it's like, okay, calm down. But so you were explaining earlier. She was explaining about being respectful, and got to remind the guys, they just get to go there and do their burnouts. They got to live with the neighbors, when it's all said and done. So, sometimes people get carried away, but that was pretty much our stops. Then we'd go back to Coonley, and it was a good time. I really think everybody had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely heard a ton of great comments. I do want to run through some photos real quick. Just had a lot of photographers on site that look like they took some amazing photos. Some of these are, out on the road. Some of these are drag race stuff.
Yes.
But the one thing I want to look at here is there's not a lot of cars that have the front windshield banner of a bunch of other events. So I want to talk about in the next segment. I want to talk about how you bring in new folks and what that did for the community, because I feel like new people are needed. Eric and I will recognize this car. We took some shots of it at Midwest Drags 2023. Eric, this is
I think so.
Yeah, one of my favorite little cars right here. There's a bunch of really cool rollers that Eric got of this car at that time. But yeah, it looks like a great mix of stuff. Really some really fast stuff. Obviously, we're going to talk about some of the times and things like that in the next segment here. So just stay with me. We'll run back through these photos, and definitely want to thank Deechworks for all the support they give us. Again, 10% discount code. They're going to be at PRI and at SEMA. We're going to make sure they come into the booth and talk on the camera a little bit there when we're at PRI. So it's going to be kind of a good time. And then up next is the last segment to end the show here is going to be the Performa-Built transmission segment. This is a good one. Performa-Built Ryan is the baddest 4L60, 4L80 GM transmission builder on the planet. So I'll let you read the ad read, then we'll go on.
All right. Performa-Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performa-Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performa-Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performa-Built. And I don't know if you've seen the post about that Ryan had posted. He said, "It has been such a busy year, and especially this fall, I haven't had a second to post I am happy to see a lot of you guys getting your projects started for the winter and planning ahead from the amount of phone traffic that we have had this season. That being said, I want to take a moment as we finish up October and almost 2025 to thank you all for your support and helping us with your feedback so we can continually re-engineer the baddest 4L60E on the market today, with even more modifications currently in the works and planned through 2026. I can safely say we aren't done going even faster, and that feels like a dream come true to be able to say at this stage in the game after multiple records. We're absolutely crushed the past 2 years. So super cool post from Ryan there at Performability.
Yeah, that dude, I should have made the time to go by his place when we were in Pennsylvania. It just, sadly, we were so late because of the key situation, All right, for the folks that are just now getting here or watching this segment later, we're on with Skippy from Buckeye Skip's Drag and Drive event. He's on telling us in the previous segment we talked about, kind of how this event came about, how the tracks they went to, some of the things he learns, all the route stops, all that kind of stuff. This next segment here for Performability, I want to talk about the race itself. I want to talk about close races, who broke, favorite cars, and then of course we'll end it with what's coming in the future. So tell us real quick, what were some of the close races, close classes that people were really duking it out for?
Actually, our 990 was the closest class, and Jesse Hazlitt ended up in second place. Clark Hecker took first by 0.005 on his last pass.
That is so tight.
That is tight. And there's a little backstory to this. I've known Clark for a long time, and he'd asked me to help him with the suspension on his car. It was a new build. And he calls me and says, "Hey, I put all this stuff in here years ago, and I just don't think it's going to work." And da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay. He says, "Well, everybody runs something different now." It's like, "No, you got it. Let's see if we can make it work." Well, obviously it works. He was a little surprised, but he's on the route, and he's coming through some curves, and the car just dies on him. So not thinking, he shuts the key off to recycle everything. Well, when he did, the steering wheel locked and he put it in a ditch. And so luckily, the racers behind him were great. I mean, they pulled him out, helped him get everything straightened out, and got him back on the road. And him and Jesse were battling back and forth, and it literally was like the last pass of the day, I think. And he beat him by that much. And
that's crazy.
Jesse pretty well had it wrapped up. He had to run a great number to beat him. So
that would be one of the hardest numbers to run. I mean, dude, park my shit. Because how do you adjust for that? I need to go 1/10,000th slower.
Well, and that's right. Yeah, Jesse went too fast, and it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. But I mean, he drove that, or he brought that car up, from Texas. I don't know. Did Jesse drive it, or I'm sure he trailered it.
Yeah, but, I think he probably trailered it. Yep. Yeah, he'll tell us here in a second.
Let's see.
No. Ray Darnell, Dan Chandler. This is a great story here. Ray Darnell, Aaron Darnell, the son, and I cannot remember the grandson's name, but 3 generations at the event, and then Ray Darnell, 82 years old, won the 1190 class.
1190 class, and looking at my notes, and it was a close deal. And he always walked up and, "So how's it look? Everything okay?" Always, being cautious what the other guys were doing. But they just had a blast. Everybody had a great time. I really think. I got to bring up in the stick shift, Kyle Dennis with the Mustang. Him and his wife, they knew it was close. And last day, they're wanting to stay for the awards, and it's like there's a storm coming through. A big line of storms, and they're trying to drive the car back to Columbus. And I told him, I said, go ahead and go. If you win, we'll get it figured out. Well, sure enough, all the numbers come in and they win. And yeah, so 2 days later, before I actually got a hold of them, I tried to come home and relax a day. But so yeah, they were really excited because they just knew somebody was going to beat them on the last couple runs. Somebody's going to beat us. And,
That's awesome. They're new to Drag and Drive as well. Not new this year, but new 2024, and a great couple and having a blast. Their daughter rides in the car with her. I think she's 4 or 5 now, and built a whole trailer. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, this year, for this race, they said, nope, we're going to be really serious. We didn't bring our daughter. We're going to try and see if we can actually be competitive.
Wow.
And they did pretty doggone good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially if they won, that's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. But probably no, not probably. Our fastest car was Josh Simmons with his Coyote Mustang. I think 67 Mustang, 767 was the, or 766 was the average. And
I may have a photo of it. Hold on just a second. I think it's this one on the. Oh, yeah, this one here on the left, the multicolored one. Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, that car looks fast.
Oh yeah, and I mean, he would drive up, do his burnout, pull up there like no big deal, and next thing you know, he's 7 seconds. And like, okay. But he kept saying, the last day I'm going to turn it up. Last day I'm going to turn it up. And like, okay, well, remember, I'm an IHRA tech official. Don't turn it up too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kept it very respectable. I mean, there was a lot left in that car.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty well a 6-second car. And I mean, to drive it anywhere he wanted to go. I mean, didn't really have any issues with it. Just drove it.
That's awesome. We'll flip through some photos here more.
The trucks, those diesel trucks, those guys, their problem was trying to slow them down. I finally told him, look, if you don't slow it down, you're done. They didn't have a roll cage in it. Him and his buddy got into a little bit of a pissing match, and you're not going to beat me. And yeah, they went from 1150 to 1050. And, yeah, and I'm standing there looking at him. He goes, I'm trying to slow it down. Then turn it off. Take the turbo off of it. Whatever you got to do.
Man, that's crazy because that's a big old truck. Like it's 4-wheel drive, all that stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a rocket ship, and they actually had some video of him out there doing burnouts at Church Boys, and that's probably why the cops showed up.
He was helping them reseal the road, huh?
Yeah, reseal the road and reset the houses.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll run through some of these photos while we're talking here. Man, who broke? Who fixed their cars? All that kind of stuff.
Well, sorry, Tom, love you to death, but yeah, I think he was out the first day. I think he made it to Mongoose Motorsports and lost the transmission. We had obviously Little Red Express, Rick Russell. Vinny Barbone, unfortunately, he had the Monza. He had a motor disintegrate internally and lock up and ended up kissing the wall with the front end.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got down there. He said, all I could think was, don't oil the track, don't oil the track, don't oil the track.
Yeah, I love Vinny. He's awesome. We need to have him on.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, he was going to run the Sam Squatch, and the motor that he built back in high school, he forgot that they had filled the block. So he couldn't get the heat down on it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, that thing is crazy. It has gone now twin turbos instead of the blower, and he's one of my favorite dudes. Just
wants to keep turning it up.
Yeah.
But who else did we have? We had Jimmy Loveland, 850 truck, lifted a head gasket, burned a head gasket on the final day, ended up putting it in the wall. Got in his own water. I've known him for probably 15, 18 years, 20 years. and he used to drive that truck every single day. And I mean, you just watched it build to go faster and faster and faster, and just great people. I mean, just felt so bad, but fortunately, that was the only two heavy hit ones. We've had engine failures.
Yeah.
Blaine Huffman with he was a small tire participant and ended up losing the motor on the first pass at Quaker City. Just a lot of attrition, even on
Yeah.
our short. We're only a little over 300 miles this time. And people don't realize you drive them and then start beating on them, and they don't like it sometimes.
Well, hey, the street is the equalizer. That's for sure. Like, it's the hardest part of drag and drive.
Especially when they try to eat up the streets, big old
Yeah.
burnouts, and
Yeah.
Gotta have fun.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, give us a couple stories or talk about some of the cars that were there. What was some of your favorite things or stories that happened from the event?
Well, we had Will Wise had a Camaro, stick shift Camaro, and he worked his butt off. He finally got the car to run tens, and his goal was to get a 10-second pass at each track. Well, about a week beforehand, he sends me a message, "Hey, I'm out. I'm gonna have to run my Subaru." And I'm like, "What? No way. You're not doing that. Get your butt out there, fix that car." And yeah, like 3 days before the event, he had the heads off of it. Found out that he'd gotten the wrong push rods when he first assembled it.
Mhm.
Had to have a head repaired. Got it all back together and showed up on day one.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, goes his first 10-second pass day one, no problem. Goes over to Quaker on day two, and the transmission didn't like second or third gear, and he kept getting flustered. And I told his girlfriend he has to get out of his own head, and I wasn't quite that nice, but so he's coming up the hill to do his burnout, and I went over and I shook my finger at him and told him to get out of his head, and you can do this, and he's like, okay, all right. I said, just calm your butt down. He goes up there and goes 1088, I believe it was, fastest
Wow.
he'd ever been in the car.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, day three, he goes 1099 with a 9. He said, but I got it.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean, stuff like that, it's a, he can tell his kids, hey, I went 3 tracks, 3 tens, after breaking the car the day before.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. 10-second streetcar, that's where it's at, man.
Oh yeah, and it's like a daily driver for him.
Wow.
I mean, not for the winter, but
Yeah.
normally it's a daily driver.
Yeah. Dan Chandler here saying the family of 5 and the black bug pulling the trailer was epic.
Yes.
I don't think I have a photo of that car.
It's an amazing story. They started out, it's going to be all turboed and everything, and every week he had something else was wrong with it. The transmission out of it, motor out of it. 3 days before the event, another one. He puts a picture up. Eric, I'll screw up his Helmuth, I believe it is. 3 days before the event, he has a picture with the motor sitting on the floor. And it's like,
Wow.
wait a minute, that's supposed to be in the car. So yeah, he had to reconfigure everything because every time he put the turbo on, he had problems with the turbo. So he showed up with carburetors on it,
Nice.
and it didn't like it the first day. I mean, it just didn't like going down the track. But yeah, he had his wife and 3 kids in the car, and every time they got out, it was like, where's the rest of them?
Who else you got in here?
Yeah.
Hang on just a second. I want to show. Nope. Hang on.
Whoa.
Figure out how to do this. Yeah. Whoa. I want to. Vinny just sent me some shots here. Oh, here's how we do it. Sorry. How about this one? Sad. Yeah, you're
Ooh.
talking about getting into the wall. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sad. That car, is pretty fresh and pretty new build. But what I'm getting to is this.
Yeah.
Eric, do you remember Rocky Mountain Race Week?
Yeah. Notice he's missing one piston and only half of the other.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the old truck.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, I don't remember when I first saw this shot. I was like, I don't remember sending him a picture of this.
Right.
That's exactly what my truck looked like.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one exactly the same on the other side. So,
Wow. And the top
yeah,
Vinny,
I live your pain.
and Vinny's a great guy, and we pick on each
Yep.
other. I mean, just he's actually going to help us with promotions for the
Oh, that's
Buckeye
great.
Skips. I mean, just a great guy.
Yeah.
But I had to
Yeah,
pick
and
on him
great
a
for
little
the
bit.
community.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
dude, builds super cool cars, and him and his wife are awesome for the
Yeah.
sport for sure.
Well, I had to pick on him. I happened to be up in the tower, and after the crash, he couldn't find his wallet.
Oh no.
And yeah, so Mike Kostick there, our announcer, goes on and says, "Hey, if anybody finds it, go look for Vinny Barbone." And being a smart aleck, I'm in the background, just say, "Yeah, look for the short guy with the crashed car."
Oh,
And Mike
goes
says,
out over the PA.
"Well, Mike turns around and he says, this is be a Skippy. Yeah, it's the short guy with the crashed car. Just look for that one." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So yeah, Vinny's leaving, and as they're leaving with it, he yells out, "Thank you, love you." I said, yeah, he obviously didn't hear that comment.
Yeah, he wouldn't have taken it bad anyways.
No,
He's
gosh, no, he's such a great guy, and I've
Yeah.
known him since the Renegade Racing Association, and
Wow.
they did Dad's Index Racing also, and just great people. I mean, just
Yeah.
great people. Him and his dad both.
Well, before we close it, we are going to go over a little bit here, so folks just get comfortable. Let's talk about newbies, because I'd mentioned that in the previous segment, talking about looking at the cars, and I'll bring the cars back up on the screen here. When you look at these, there's not just a ton of windshield banners. I know that that's not typically a thing people do outside of drag and drive, but a lot of drag and drive guys leave them on the front windshield. Like Kyle Dennis here, you can see his front windshield.
Yep.
You can see Hot Rod Drag Week on Vinny's car.
Yep.
Lots of new people in this lineup.
Probably half of our field was new, and
Man, that's so awesome.
Yeah, probably 40 to 50 of them were new. When we started the awards, Tom and I were standing there, and Tom asked, how many is this your first one? And we're standing there going, oh my gosh, okay. Yeah. We were just astonished by how many people had never done one before.
Well, and again, you and I talked about this before the show, but this is why I love the regional events, the weekend style events, is because it gives people that maybe haven't done an event, or definitely haven't done an event in your case, an opportunity to test it out and see, hey, I can do this without taking just a ton of time to work. Regional stuff, we call them regional events, because a lot of times guys are coming from within a couple 100 miles of the event. I do want to give a big shout out to Marty Kilroy here, who brought out the hot rod. This is super cool. I love seeing him enjoy this car. This thing, he's done Sick Week, he's done your event. He's done one other one. He tried to do the circuit, but couldn't get back to us with our rescheduled dates.
Right.
This is such a cool car, and he's so cool, and it's like a vintage hot rod, like truly.
It truly is a vintage. Yes.
Yeah. This is how it would have been built in like 35 or 38 or something like that. He's told this story. It's so cool.
And he grew up in our area.
Oh wow.
Out by Lisbon, Ohio, and he never got to race at these tracks. And he called me last year and was telling me, his dad used to race at Quaker City all the time, and he couldn't wait to come back and get the race where his dad was racing. And so unfortunately his dad had passed away a month or two before the event.
Oh.
And but I mean, just a great guy, and enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, he never would give up. I mean, he didn't have too many problems, but I mean, that car just goes.
Yeah, it doesn't go very fast, but it goes.
It goes, yeah.
He can't go over like 2,000 RPM for a sustained speed because it won't oil right or something.
Right, yeah. And it's, 55, 60 mile an hour is about the max.
Yep, I think he was looking at either an overdrive setup or a quick changer end or something the last time we talked.
He's looking at overdrive.
Help with the speed. Yeah, overdrive. So, listen, that's one thing I do want to commend you for, because bringing more people into the community is really, I mean, that's what Eric and I we love to see that. We love to see new people come in. We love to see new people experience a drag race that they've never experienced, this community in this way, to where everybody's willing to help everybody. A lot of these guys are, strictly heads up racers, and they come in here and they're like, wait, you're willing to give me parts off of your car to race? What are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah, it's a different. It's more of a family than, cutthroat. I mean, it's whatever it takes to get you down the track, we'll help you.
Yeah.
What plans do you have for 2026 event? I know you said you were talking about it. You were calling, trying to lock in some tracks and dates. Anything that you can share with us today, or still a little bit out?
Well, tentatively, we're going to go. We'll start out at Coonley on the the 30th, and be back there on the 2nd. We'll be at 42 National Trails. Day one will be the longest day. It'll be from Coonley to National Trails in Columbus. I think it was 198 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
And then back over to 42 and then back up to Coonley. We like the idea. We talked about doing a 4-day, and being, we're rookies at this, and to try and jump into both feet that much, I just don't think it was in the cards for us next year.
So what you're saying is you'll do day one would be drop your truck and trailer at Coonley and then drive to the first track.
Yes. Well, we'll do day 0, which would be on the Monday.
Yep.
And then they'll leave out of Coonley on Tuesday. It's actual day 1, and then drive to Columbus to National Trails.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll race there, and then that's their hardest day, I would say. They'll have 6-7 hours to get there, and it's a 3-hour tour. So as long as it's not the SS Minnow, they should be good.
Right, no SS Minnows in here. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then that's really one of the only regional events that is running during the week. So again, I think your format here is pretty cool, because you'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday racing. You'll end up back at Coonley on Thursday for your bit of racing for your drag and drive, but then also on the 3rd kicks off a big race at Coonley, right?
Yes, they do their Independence Eve race. They have jet trucks and fireworks, and I don't know what all they have coming up this year, but they usually have a great showing there. Usually the outlaw cars and stuff like that. I'm actually going to, on the way back up there, stop home and get my car, so I get to race at the July 3rd
awesome.
race.
That's awesome. So so definitely moving a little bit of dates as well. So that's moving from October up into the last day of June, and then the first week of July. Pretty cool.
Yeah, we actually, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you need to do it again the same time next year." And I told them, I said, "This is Ohio. We could have a foot of snow this time."
Yep.
You just never know. We're right on the lake, and cold breeze.
That could be a problem. Yeah, we run into that a little bit. Eric and I have talked about Byron and tracks up that way, and that's a little bit of the struggle,
Yeah.
Yeah, it like the week we had ours on Sunday, it was like 70-some degrees, and it was 60s all week.
Yeah.
A week later, it was 40 degrees and rain.
Yeah.
And we were just so lucky, so blessed. I mean, just really lucky.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, last question here. Any changes you have planned for the event? Anything you learned this year? Class changes, rule changes, things like that?
Class changes. Being that we're a smaller event, we don't get the bigger guys and stuff like that. So we're going to take our big tire class, the unlimited big tire and unlimited small tire, and just make it king of the street class. Fastest car wins.
Yeah.
And we're going to add a nostalgia class, and we're going to do an actual hard tire class.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm going to call it the NASCAR class. Because we had racers that had hard tires, so we would call them up as a hard tire.
Yeah.
But there wasn't an actual class; they were in dial your own.
Yep.
But I was just talking with Ken Deacon last night, one of our friends, and yeah, he made like 8 or 10 passes a night. And
Well, and Eric hears me all the time. I'm like, if people don't have to buy a different set of rims and slicks or radials for their car, maybe they are more apt to come in and do their first event. Now, after they do their first event, they're going home and buying radials or slicks, and they're putting them on whatever wheels they can find
yes.
and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like if you can open that up, that makes it much easier.
Yeah, we had Blaine Huffman, who actually ended up being out. His daughter Isabella has a beautiful Trans Am, a Bandit Trans Am, and I swear, at Quaker City, she must have made 13 to 15 passes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think she slowed down through the pits, just enough to get her time ticket and come back around.
Yep, that's always a good time, man, when they can hot lap them like that.
Yeah. All right. Other than that, I think we're going to leave most of it alone. I think we're going to eliminate. We had a 950 class. It started out as a 930, 2008 and newer, and I think we're going to eliminate that, and maybe take the 1190 and bring it to an 1150, because some of the faster guys, that way they don't have to have a cage until 1149.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Just
That's what I was
little
going to ask. Is it the same with IHRA 2 1150 stuff? Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Nothing real big, I don't think.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, we wish you all the best. Thank you for taking your time tonight and talking to us on here. It's always really cool it's always cool to see like new thought processes, and obviously like without you doing a drag and drive before, generally that can end up creating some really cool classes and rules and ways to do it, geo class, ways to host events and things like that. But you bring years and years of experience of hosting events, obviously, so that helps as well, and that probably really helped your event will grow. And I mean, 140 people signed up for the first year is stellar. I mean, it just shows the kind of level of promotion you've done in the past, and then of course now with the event. But I can't wait to see what 2026 holds, man. That time frame is going to be really cool. I think doing it during the week will be interesting to see how that works. I think it's going to end up being great, especially as you lead into a huge race July 3rd. My thing would be, could you pick up a couple of the big names for that July 3rd race to come do that drag and drive? I think that'd be kind of fun.
That would be pretty cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They may not bring a big car, but hey, a lot of those guys that have big, nasty race cars, Keith Haney is always one I say, because he has a pro mod and I spend time with him, but he also has like a slowish Chevelle, that would be great for drag and drive. Hint, hint, Keith Haney, somebody tag him in the comments, because I'm trying to get him to come next weekend to the short circuit, So I think once a guy like that does some drag and drive stuff, he's going to be like, wow, this is really, really cool.
I'll tell you, once you do it, I mean, even just putting it on, I told Rick Russell and them that, next year my car will be ready. And, when they go down to do street heat, we're going to be there with them. Tom Dupree's going to be there with us too.
Yeah.
Right, Tommy?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be in. He told me several times that your event was really one of the funnest he had done. And like, he was sad that the truck didn't make it, obviously, but it's going to come out bigger and better than ever. He's already got upgrades made and he's already been out driving it around some. So pretty cool.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. We'll see you guys at PRI. We are
definitely
go out on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Well, come on out, hang out. We'll send you the link to our location, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll jump on live. We'll have some conversation while we're there, talk about the dates and tracks and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you soon, Skibby.
Okay, dope. Thanks.
Yeah.
Dude, what a fun night.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of conversations, a lot of comments, man. Appreciate everybody talking all the stuff.
Yeah, lots of comments. And, talking about two incredible events between Southeast Street and Yeet and Buckeye Skips. I mean, pretty great show.
Man, let's see. Melissa's not watching anymore, but maybe I didn't do the laundry like I should have today. So I'm probably not going to ask her tonight, but maybe tomorrow after a couple margaritas or something.
Let me tell you, The
What would you
house
think?
better be spotless tomorrow. I'm
She walked
telling you.
in. Why does it smell so good in here? And you're not wearing green sweatpants. What's up? Oh man, I'm telling you, this working from home's tough, dude. Like
yeah.
you and I were joking about some super cool stuff that's coming from Summit with Tommy earlier, and you were like, "Man, I'll wear that to work," and I was like, "Me too," but the only people are going to see it are my cats and dog
Yeah.
if I wear it to work. So
It really sounds like a sad life, but he's got it made, so don't let him trick you.
it's pretty awesome around here most of the time. So, all right, well, Doug, do not threaten. I'm in. You just tell me where to be, and we're there. So yeah, PRI again, guys. Listen, I can't express this enough. PRI Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be hosting the Dragon Drive Awards presented by Summit Racing in room 235. But it's also going to be live streamed. So the next 5 weeks of my life is to build out the 20 plus awards that we're going to be giving out there. One thing we didn't mention in the Molly segment is the Molly Toughest Roadside Repair trophy that we give out every year, which is exciting. Can't wait to see who wins that this year, man. There's been a ton of roadside repairs that have been made over the year. Lots of stuff. I mean, do people have engines out, all that kind of stuff. So pretty crazy.
Nominations are open for that on the
Yep.
website. So if you
Yep.
want to nominate somebody for that award, please head over to the website,
Yep.
fill out that form, so we can review those.
Yeah, definitely. Cause we got to get those in. Cause I don't want to be doing that like we did last year where like it's the morning of and we're still going over all that stuff. Do you remember how hard that was? We were asking people in the room who should get it.
Yeah. Last year was tough for sure. There was a couple that, man, honestly, you could have made a case for any one of those to win that. So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. All right, well, cool. Well, next episode is the Drag Drive Repeat news this Saturday morning. I'm already making tons of notes on it. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of builds have entered the winter time updates already. So we've seen Bryant Goldstone's Javelin getting the upgrades. We're going to talk about that. We're going to give an update on Devin Vanderhoof's S550 Mustang. There's builds everywhere that are going on that are getting prepared for Sick Week 2026 that we're looking to see if, man, they, crazy stuff going on. And then I'm watching the Horsepower Wars deal. There's a C4 Corvette in the background with like this gnarly cage, and it like had to be a 6.0 cage. And I'm like, so I posted, is Stefan building a new car for over here? There's just a ton of stuff going on right now, tons and tons of stuff for the Dragon Drive community. And that's why we're here. That's why we're right here, sir. That's why we do what we do. So send us out, man.
All right. Vinny here. Great show. Night, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Like Mike said, we'll get a hold of you and see if we can get you on the show one of these weeks. So
yeah, definitely.
Appreciate all of the comments tonight. Tonight was really good for comments. Everybody jumping in. It was a great show. Again, thanks to Laura for jumping on. Thanks to Skip for coming on. It's awesome. Love having these conversations. Appreciate all of you race car friends tuning in, for this 2 hours with us. Appreciate each and every one of you. And again, these sponsors, we can't do it without them. If you guys are doing some shopping, please, please, please check out these companies. Support those who support us. Again, we've got affiliate links. We've got discount codes. If you need any of that information, please reach out to Mike, myself, hit the Drag Drive Repeat page up. Let us help you get in contact with the right person. So thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmission, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Appreciate everybody, and we'll see you guys on Saturday morning.
Yep. Later.